Just in time. Just in time. See that? The eagle-eyed amongst you may have seen a bit of a stream bug there. If you were watching closely, if you were sat there waiting for the timer to go down, like, there's only 5 minutes left. And I expect that's what you were doing, because it's been a long week, hasn't it? It's been a long week. But we're back. We're back in the house. And, we're back in the house with lighting, believe it or not. See that? See that? Yeah, you see it. You see it. Lighting. Now then, let's not mess around. Let's get to the point. There's no media team to slag off anymore. Anyway, this week's stream is brought to you by the one and only Barry's Loose Leaf. Same as last week. Double sponsor. Good on them. They sent rather a large bag through, so we've got them for a while. So kudos to Barry's for keeping the stream going. Alright, welcome back to the stream, the one and only Big Bishop, also known as Gainsworth. It's going to be a 4-game match, and we're going to be kicking off with 1e4. And he is ready. He is ready. He's not messing around. And he plays his trademark Caro-Kann. So let's go. Let's go. Oh, look at that. He pre-moved that, didn't he? I'll remember that for the next game. What would that be a really bad pre-move against? A knight? No, I don't know. Anyway, let's not think about that now. Alright, well, welcome back. Welcome back, viewers. Now then, I'm just going to get my mix sorted. Just need to turn that music down a bit for me. Bit loud. I need to concentrate, Alright, we're in a Caro-Kann. Bishop d3. So he's going to go knight c6. He's attacking the d4 pawn. We protect it with c3. Then he goes bishop f6. We play bishop f4. He goes bishop g4, attacking the queen. We don't want to go knight f3 yet, because, yeah, why not? Yeah, I guess it just, we walk into a pin. So queen b3, we attack this pawn, which is defended. We're probably not going to take it. We play knight d2, so we can play knight f3. He goes e6, we go knight f3. He goes bishop d6. We trade the dark square bishops. Or do we? He's thinking. No, he's not. No, he's not. He was probably just, I don't know, doing something else. Do we castle? I think we do. Yeah, let's castle. We don't want to take this pawn at this point. Our queen's just going to get hounded. That's what they want. Don't give them what they want. I reckon he's going to castle. There he is.
Expected.
Alright, rook a e1. So we can play knight e5 next. Knight e5 straight away would have been a bit of a blunder. I think we did that last week, but we didn't get punished. We did not get punished. Let's go, knight e5. Attack this bishop. So you can't capture with the knight, because we'll take back, and that will fork the queen and this knight with this pawn fork. So yeah, we do attack this bishop. Yeah, it's defended. Queen c2 is a cheeky move. Right, queen c2 is going to threaten bishop h7, which looks a bit silly, because the knight's protecting h7. But the knight's the defender of the bishop, which is attacked. Look at those coloured arrows. Look at those. Okay, now then. Our queen is not good on b3 anymore. It served its purpose. I'm not sure how it did, but it did. b5. Is that premature? I feel like we kind of want to take that off. I think we should play queen c2. Alright, queen c2, threatening bishop h7, knight takes h7, knight takes g4, winning a pawn. Why not? Why not threaten a bit of that? Alright, Barry's, thank you kindly. Good sponsor. Okay, so we're back in this position, which was probably the same position we're in last week, when I think Big Bishop played rook c8, rook f c8. Yeah, both rooks can go to c8, so we have to name the rook. Rook f c8. And that's quite a clever move because it pins the c-pawn, sort of, once his knight moves. So it means moves like, you know, a threat after after this would be knight b4, for example. Okay, so they've realized that we were threatening this, and they've retreated the bishop. So they're already on the back foot. I think we should just go f4. Just push. Push him. Gotta push him. Do we want to react to the possibility of b4? I don't think we do. I think we just want to push. And then maybe this rook is gonna wander. Oh, rook a c8. Okay, so he's interesting. He's leaving this one at home to defend. Knight b4 is a threat. We don't want to allow that. And how bad is it? We want a bit of that action. If we play knight b3, they play knight b4. We've got to play a move like queen d2. They'll take this bishop. We take it back. Oh, bishop g6 is not coming because the knight's here. Oh, we'll get our knight to c5 in that line. So I feel like knight b3 is the way. Don't think we want to play f4 at this point. So knight b3. I'm expecting knight b4. I'm going to play queen b1 maybe, or queen d2. Probably queen d2. I guess this pawn is hanging, but I'm just not worried about that. So maybe I should be, and I should play queen b1. But I'm thoroughly expecting knight b4 to arrive on the board. By the big bishop. Attack of the knight. And I don't mind that so much because, okay, we're going to lose this light square bishop for this knight. But then this knight's a sort of permanent fixture, you know, or it's a solid fixture. And this bishop doesn't have a great life if it's going to go to g6 where we can trade it off if we want. On the other hand, we're going to get this knight to c5, which blocks the c file. That seems pretty good. Seems pretty good to me. All right, and big bishop is tanked, and we're back on level terms, time-wise. So, what's not to like? And Haris Heller has flipped the beat. Not my favourite one of his, this one. Okay, so it's an interesting position. We've got a sort of... What have we got? We've got a central knight, which is, you know, quite well supported in its almost outpost. I say almost outpost because this pawn can eventually, once this knight moves, challenge this knight. Oh, we played pawn to b4. Wasn't I expecting that? That's interesting. Can't we just go knight c5 now? Oh, it's the same thing, isn't it? Knight c5 they take here. No, we take back with the pawn. We hit the queen. So it's not the same. Last week we plonked a knight on c5 and it was a big problem. Why was that? Yeah, I think it's because there was a knight on d7 or something. I think we can just play knight c5 now. No problem. Yeah, so let's go. Seems okay to me. We'll take back here and that's a fork. If knight takes e5, which I'm sure big bishop is not going to do that. Probably they'll take the opportunity to take on c3. Oh, they played a4. a5 actually. Okay, so shoring up on this pawn for some reason. Not quite sure why. Maybe we should play h3 g4. Maybe we should play rook e3. Can we play f5? No, we cannot do that now because this guy requires the d4 pawn. Yeah, I think that's what we did. Then the knight captured we took with the rook, and then boom, that's a problem because our d4 pawn was overloaded. So we don't want any of that. So what does that? What kind of option does that leave us with? Rook e3 is that a bit silly. Don't know. What about a3? Okay, we need to think about this. Quite like the idea of rook e3 and just moving onto the h file there. So let's do it. Rook e3. Can that rook be attacked by any knights? It can't. This pawn being captured, I guess we just take back. We've blocked the c-file, which is kind of good. So rook e3. Just try to keep improving the pieces. It's on the dark square. So light square bishop. Put the rooks on dark squares. Now we might be able to get away with rook h3. I thought knight b4 was the move. I'm not sure about this b4 a5. But that's the plan. It's a minority attack. You've got this pawn minority on the queen side, and black pushes it to try to disturb our pawn structure over here, and then, you know, exercise the rooks where there's space and open files. It's not really working out that way at the moment because this rook is still at home. This one's on the c file, which is not going to be open. So I mean, the open file is going to be the b file if they capture on c3. So we'll see. We're just going to steadily improve. Steadily improve the pieces. Nothing mental. Okay, so rook here looks like an idea. Yeah, okay, they're taking on c3. I'm considering this. It threatens this, but I guess this is just too much. So why do that? Why do that? Okay, now I'm thoroughly expecting rook b8. We could try and hold the b file. Okay, the knight went back to e7. Why is that? It's coming to f5. Or he wants this. That doesn't work. Okay, rook h3 is interesting because it does threaten bishop h7, knight h7, rook takes h5. And I don't see this as being a thing. That will come with a check, but, you know, so what? Okay, maybe he wants bishop f, knight f5. We're gonna just take it off and win a pawn, are we not? Okay, let's go. Rook h3. I guess bishop g6 might be played. Yeah, now I'm tempted to take that off with the bishop. Knight takes, then knight takes. This pawn will capture. It's not forced. What we can't do is f5. We cannot play that. We can play knight b7. In some line, somewhere. Knight b7 would be a good move. Okay, now it's getting to that point where we're a minute and a half behind. The position's complicated. It requires thought, but we've got no time. So what do? Keep this bishop on? Keep this knight on? Just let them take? Double rooks? What about rook g3? If we go knight takes and then takes here, I mean, it's busting up the pawns, isn't it? And then we can perhaps try and swing the other knight round. Maybe we don't want to do that. I don't think we want to do that. Okay, can we play f5? We could take this and then play f5. That looks interesting. What would the knight do? The knight can't drop there. Can't drop back here, I don't think. Or maybe it can. Interesting. Maybe it can, because this guy would be hanging with a check. Still. So we could take with the bishop and play f5. We could take with a knight and play f5. We can't take with the bishop and play f4. Probably we can, actually. Okay. The problem with f5 is it leaves this knight weak to a rook takes, but it does come with a tempo. Okay, I'm going for it. Oh, okay, he took with the pawn. That's interesting. What about queen f2 now then, and queen h4? don't think this is going to get captured by the rook. Yeah, it's winning material. Well, maybe that's a good exchange sacrifice, but not after queen f2 it's not, so it's a multi-purpose move. Okay, don't see any drawbacks at the moment. Try to play queen h4. Knight looks decent on c5. Look at that horrendous time disadvantage. Deficit. Okay. Alright. Big bishop. He's got the time advantage. Got decent position. There are some problems with the pawn structure, but there's also some problems for us. They'll be trying to weather the storm over here and just pick up this pawn or something and just try and win the game with this outside passed pawn. So they'll be holding out for the end game. We're going to try and attack. f5 at any point. It looks impossible because of the e6 and g6 pawns. You know, but queen h5, knight h5, g4. Excuse me. Queen h4 is a big threat. How do you actually defend against that, you know? How do you defend against it? Rook d8, maybe queen h4. King f8. Queen h8 check. Some knight, probably this knight back. Are you? Maybe we'll... No, you're not taking that pawn just yet. But in those lines, there might be an f5. Maybe. But yeah, I think this is a defense. Rook over here. The problem with that actually is that there's just a knight b7 fork. But that's actually pretty annoying. That's really fucking annoying. If you've got to go here, that's much more passive. Queen h4, king f8, queen h8, probably this knight to g8. Yeah, he's done it. He has a hat es getan. Well, why not? It just looks like we shouldn't be not doing that. We shouldn't be not doing that. Yeah, that makes sense. Did it make sense? Well, let's see which knight goes back. I'm expecting this one actually, because if this one goes back, then there might be a cheeky bishop g6. f5. I'm gonna go for it. It looks like the move. At least ask a question: which knight you're going to retreat? You probably retreat this one to give you king the flight square, but then there might be something going on here. Why do I think there's something going on there? Maybe this is an annoying move. If the king ever gets to e7, we've got this. And then a rook takes e6 with the support from this knight. So, okay. So I prefer this move. It prevents king e7, I think, because then there's this bishop g6. I mean, king e7 can't be played anyway because it's queen g6, queen g7. Okay, is this a thing in any world? Probably not. There's probably a good move here. I get the feeling there's a good move. What are they going to try and do? Maybe this? Is this a thing? g4, g5? g4, g5, rook h7. play g4, knight gets it. But then we play rook h7. Is there a check in that position? I don't think there's a check in that position. g4 looks like a superbly annoying move to face. Knight takes g4. Oh, there are no checks. Rook h7. We're going to take the g7 pawn. No, it can't be defended. Alright, I'm going for it. g4. King e7, queen g7. Knight takes g4, rook h7. Alright, what we're going to do with our 1 minute. Capitulate. That's probably what we're going to do. So how do they stop g5? Play g5 themselves? Looks problematic, because then there's bishop h7. Or actually, there's rook h7, knight h7, bishop h7, king e7, queen g7. I mean, yeah. Did we give up a piece there? I don't think we did actually. So that looks carnage. We gave up an exchange. Yeah, okay. But I feel like we need to play rook h7 there. If g5, we could just take as well. Yeah, maybe we can just take. Okay, looks problematic. No wonder big bishop's having a good think. He needs a big bishop now. Needs a big bishop on c7. Not d3, e3. Yeah. But you not got one, fortunately. You gave it away on d6. Thought this might occur. Okay, I think that's desperation. Let's go. g5. Knight h4. Okay. Rook takes. Bishop here. King e7. Queen there. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna crash through here. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm hopeful. King e7, probably the only move. Yeah. Okay, now we're threatening to take this and then this. That's oh, it's not mate, is it? It'll force the king back to f8. But then there's g6 and stuff. This looks like it was a good exchange sack. Oh, there might be some dirty forks coming up, lads. In the non-gender specific sense of the word. Which is commonly used in Ireland. Lads. Yeah. Not even like non-gender specific, but like not even, you know, not even specific to living things. I was in Screwfix the other day picking up some clamps. Said, oh, I'm here for my clamps. She took a look at my order and she was like, oh yeah, the 12-inch lads. 12-inch lads. Right, there are problems. While I'm yapping away about 12-inch lads, Big Bishop probably calculating the defense. I mean, I think we got a lot for the exchange here. I'm just kind of hoping it's going to work out. I should be calculating. I mean, you can't move this knight, right? He's got no squares. It's going to get captured. You're going to take back with the rook. We're going to go queen f6. That allows you to play two moves. But I think we might be able to play f5. Look at this queen bearing down on... Not quite. Not quite bearing down on the king. Interesting idea. Can't we play this now? First. Guess that allows knight f6. We don't want that. So let's go here. Bit of this action. Then I'm just going to play rook e1. We've covered f4. Now rook e1 is a great move. We're threatening knight takes, boom, and pick up the queen. They want rook g6, but they can't because we're going to come in here. They'll have to go there, and then I say they can't. I mean, they quite clearly can. Okay, but we're going to win this. We're going to win a pawn back. And then we'll have the material. Their king going to be on e7. Is there even some brilliancy? Rook g6, knight takes e6. They take our queen. Double check. Goes here. That's kind of annoying. It's quite close to being a brilliancy. Hang on. Brilliancy. Brilliant. Hang on. If we take this... Okay, we can't do that. What can we do here? If we bring our knight to this square, that looks like quite an attractive proposition. I guess they could advance. I know, we can take the pawn with check. Okay, so bring the knight to e5, then we'll threaten f7. Ooh, we can go back here. Is there anything better? This looks interesting. I mean, not yet, but at some point. Maybe next. If we go there now, this is hanging, so we can't do that. There's going to be a draw. It's going to be a draw. Maybe it's not. I don't think he'll go for the draw. I think he'll find another move. Interesting. Oof. He did. He found a different move. And so did we. Okay. And he's gone there. Okay, but it's different now, is it? I think we're just going to get mated now, unfortunately. Oh, someone is. Yeah. Bollocks. Resigns. Well done. Should have taken the draw. I think we had a good position there. We had a good try. All right, good game. Good game. He just got to our open king. I feel like if we pressed the attack, you know, we probably were better in that game. But as usual, didn't find the correct plan. Okay, alright, so now look at him just bashing out the moves. Big bishop. We've moved into the eponymous Ainsworth's variation. Gainsworth special. And what's that? I mean, this is slow. We need to punish this. F5? I feel like we can actually play F5, but King H8 first. Alright, so that's the idea. Alright, what about a bit of this then? Okay, so this guy has attacked my e5 pawn. We should probably do something about that. I guess if we go knight b6, they're planning bishop b5. Don't really want to play f6. F5, knight takes, rook takes, excuse me. We could then actually play a move c6. Maybe we're actually in good shape in that variation. It's an interesting pawn sack. I'm thinking f5, knight takes, we trade here. We play c6. They're going to go bishop d5, and then we throw in bishop d6. The rook will have to retreat, and then we take this bishop back. We got the bishop pair, so let's go for it. Guess the problem is bishop takes. We take back the pawn. We've already seen this line. We're gonna go bishop d6. I feel like we're a tempo up on this line. You know, normally we get this line with the pawn on h7 and the knight on d2. So I feel like this could work out for us. It's bishop e4, bishop d5, bishop d6. Probably rook. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all. Okay, d4. It's interesting. Can't we hit this rook? I think we can. I think we should. Free up the queen to land somewhere like h5. f4, f3 is a plan. Queen h5. Does it threaten anything? Guess it does, yeah. Knight coming in. f4 looks like a move we want to play. Do you want to play it first? Okay, so it's a choice between queen h4, f4. I think that's it. Can't see anything else. This knight's doing a good job covering these squares from this bishop. So why not? Let's try and... Am I worried about this? I mean, I think if white gives us their light square bishop, that's probably in our favour. We're going to play f4, bishop takes h3, something like that, rook g6. Let's give it to him. Honestly, I'm still furious about that last game. Anyway, come back to reality. Okay, forced to take the knight off. Great stuff. Okay, so we want a bit of f4. Bishop f5 maybe. Maybe land the bishop on e4. Okay, so the knight is going to try to come over here, which makes sense. Okay, and we're going to drop back to h4 after the knight lands here, I think. And that will kind of peg the queen. Because if the queen moves, for example, to d2, it won't, but it pegs the queen to the defense of the knight because there's always the bishop h6, h3 tactic. Okay, so let's let it happen. I mean, this is a no-brainer. Brainless. And it's very natural to come to this light square. Guess I can offer a trade of queens with knight d4. But I think in that situation we'll probably play something like, I don't know, queen g5, which threatens bishop h6. I don't think the knight here threatens anything else. I mean, this. Oh dear, oh fucking Nora, that's awful. Fucking hell. If he goes knight d4, we go knight e5, we go queen g5, he goes knight f7. Rook takes f7. Oh no, he doesn't. Yeah, we just come back with the rook. Okay, good. Good that we spotted that. I saw that ghost there. Okay, he plays it. Do we want to trade queens? The rook will go back there. I don't think we want to do that. What if we go here? That's not happening. We've already thought about that. This is a strong pawn. I think we're sort of threatening f3 in some way. f3, knight takes. Well, we're not threatening it yet, but it might tie white down a little bit. The worry. We're also threatening bishop h3, of course. Now, right, back to f3. And it might be queen g6, and then there's no repetition after knight d4, because after this trade we get the h3 pawn. And that's an interesting position, but probably black's in control. White has a passed d pawn, but we've got a mate threat. Maybe queen f3 is a move, bishop g4, and all is well. So what do you do? Plays queen f3, thought they might. Okay, now I quite like bishop f5 coming into e4. Don't think it allows this. So how do we react to that? It allows queen takes or bishop takes. So I don't think we can actually think we can play that yet. So I feel like we should be able to. Bishop takes. Do we have this move? I don't think so, because they'll take our queen for free and we'll lose a piece. Okay, so maybe we do want to get rid of this. We need to get this bishop out of the way. But it can't go to f5, unfortunately. That's pretty annoying. Maybe we just need to play b6 then and bishop a6. Not really what we wanted. If we chunk it here, then this guy is just going to move somewhere. Are there any discoveries though? Are there actually any discoveries? Maybe we want rook f6 and bishop e6. Maybe that's an idea. Okay, so let's go rook f6. Again, there's no knight f7, we're not worried about that. Okay. Then we're allowed bishop f6 and get this rook here. This knight's a bit of a nuisance, but hopefully we can cover the light squares that it's thinking about. If it ever moves to attack this, well then we get a third defense on it. So, interesting position. Is it worth a pawn? Oh, maybe. We've got the bishop pair. We're getting out of the blocks. They've got a knight on d4, which is excellent. You know, but it's not a pair of bishops. Do you know what I mean? As long as you've got these juices on the board, you're feeling good. King f8. High level move. Fucking hell. What's Gainsworth drinking? Alright, well the idea was bishop e6 and double the rooks. I think it's still an idea. You know, I think it is. I don't see a big problem with it, so it's a way of finishing the development, which white has neglected to do by playing king f1. They've still got this bishop, you know, still on its starting square, along with this rook, because this bishop's on its starting square. So is this rook. So you really want to be sorting that out, I would say. And I don't think that's the way to do it. En passant, they take us, we take them. Okay, fair enough. But we can probably go here. Hang on a second. If we take en passant, they capture this, we capture that, they capture us. We've got a pawn on g3. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think this. I find this suspicious. Maybe we should just finish the development. You know, that frees up this rook, right? It's no longer a defender due to the X-ray defense, and we can try to, you know, put pressure on this pawn. Are they going to try and cross the king e2? I mean, maybe. Maybe he is. Finally, bishop d2 played. I think we should come across here. Yeah, the good thing about this is that this knight here, right? Currently, we're threatening to win back a pawn, and the thing stopping that is this rook. So if they try and go king e2 and bring the rook to the h file to protect the delicate h pawn, we're always going to be able to win that pawn, which probably comes with a check. So now queen h4, and this guy is just getting toasted. So he plays rook e2, same idea. What about this? Queen takes, bishop g4. Ah, the knight takes. Okay, so we can take this first, but then the rook takes. Okay, we don't want that. We can just go here. Oh, I see something. Oh, that is beautiful. Queen h4. If king e1, we've got bishop g4. Now, if they take with a g pawn, we sack our queen temporarily, and that's a mate. King e1, and if they take with the queen, then we just trade queens, and it's still a mate. Okay, so queen h4 looks good. King e1, don't think it works. Bishop g4. Oh, okay, we need to play knight takes first, and then bishop g4. Oh, then it's not mate. Motherfucker. Okay. This d4 knight's a problem. Okay, it's not a mate, but it wins this, right? It's a skewer. It's a skewer. So king e1, bishop takes, rook takes, bishop g4. Oh, he's allowed bishop g4. I guess the point is that it's not actually a mate now. But it is a skewer, right? Which is just as good. Okay, so we're winning an exchange by the looks of things. Are they planning something like, I don't know, knight takes? I mean, the queen's attacked. Okay, is there anything better? Oh, we're actually threatening this. Yeah, okay, they'll take this. We'll take that. Yeah, but I think we can. Let's just consider that, because this is also possible as a way to reclaim the rook. We gave up a piece, so we need to just take this rook off. Okay, so we are threatening this, which is good. This could be captured, actually. That's okay, we'll take this. There's a back rank mate, you see. So there's 2 attacks on my f4 pawn and 2 defenses, but unfortunately one of them is guarding the back rank from this rook invasion. So this pawn is hanging, but so is the a pawn. Yeah. Okay, so let's just capture that. And I think we're in good shape here. I mean, we can just go here to attack this bishop. Maybe we should do that, because this pawn is not getting defended in that instance, but there is this move, which is annoying. Okay, so let's take. Let's see what big bishop has got up their sleeve after this calamitous, eponymous adventure. What's another word for a calamitous adventure? I feel like there's a word for that. Linny would know a good word for that. Now then. Now we can't leave the back rank. If we go here, they'll attack us again. But I think that's okay. I feel that's what we should do. Or do we just go here and happy days? Actually, I quite like that. And we're going to push this way. If they attempt to attack this pawn, we'll take this one. I mean, they're going to have to move there. No, they're not going to move their bishop. Alright, I feel like this is the way. Probably this will be played. We'll attack it again. Yeah, it gains a tempo, doesn't it? This sort of... Well, it doesn't actually. It doesn't gain a tempo. So they go there, we'll go here. We're not even attacking this, right? It's not even being attacked. Because this guy is the defender at the back right now. We could push here. We make a light square hole for our king because our opponent's got a dark square bishop. Now we are attacking this. And he tries to trap us. Now we could go here and do this cheeky thing. Is there any sense in that? I don't think there is. I think we should just bring this rook back into the game. Okay, so there might be a problem here. Okay. Alright, if we defend, then this bishop is coming. Okay, so we need to do something aggressive. So I think this is the move. Right, we're going to give this pawn up. If necessary, we'll go behind this one. But what we actually want to do is just own this file. And then we'll just kill them with the rooks. Right, like this. Ladder mate. Okay, so he's gone there to prevent the ladder mate. Okay, so let's go here. Or maybe actually... Okay, yeah. Let's keep the king in a box. Then if this gets captured, we'll move to the open file. If not, we'll just start trying to defend these pawns. Sounds reasonable. Okay. Okay, but then there's a bit of this action, which no one likes. No one likes that. Okay, a bit of this. Actually, no, I think this is the move that we should play. If the king goes here, we take... Oh god, then there's some awfulness. If we take, the bishop takes with check, we go here. Okay, I feel like we have to allow that. This, we go here, and then... Is there anything? Okay, didn't do it. Can't see a way through, I'm afraid. Have to go into a rook ending. He's too good. He's too good at defending these positions. Now we've lost this pawn. Okay. Now we need to bring this king. This is probably a good move, but they'll lose this pawn. Okay, so this prevents the pawn from advancing, I think. king might try to attack our rook. We'll try and defend our pawn. Hang on. They could always take this pawn, actually. Okay, this is. I think this is okay. King comes in. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we just defend that. Continue to bring the king across. How on earth did we? How did we get into this situation? Ridiculous. Okay, we don't want to go there because that's a losing king and pawn ending. Oh shit, we just blundered the second pawn. Ah. Okay. Alright, I guess that's the only idea, to try and drive the king back. Oh well, that was a shower of shite, but oh well. We got a great position. And then somehow I just couldn't see a way. This bishop was just too strong. Okay, we've got to push that king back. Continue to try and push this king back. Just hope to snag one pawn and get into a drawn ending, because this is lost. It's kind of interesting. If he goes back here and we go there, and then he goes here, and we take that and he goes here, can we draw that? King comes back, we get the opposition. I think it gives him the tempo that he needs, unfortunately. But maybe we can keep giving the checks. King gonna wander off this way. King's gonna seek shelter. Okay. Improve our king. This would be a mate threat. Okay, try and get behind the pawn. I'm sure that maybe they'll do. This doesn't work. We take the pawn and then the rook. Guess we want to go this way. Same threat now. King h4 doesn't work. Okay, so now, right, I understand what's going on. This is not good. Right, what do we do? I think we're just toast. We're getting toasted. Okay. Okay, now maybe we can push the king back. Same problem, unfortunately, but okay. Shit, we really wanted the rook here. Yeah, no, this is a big problem. Okay, let's prevent the king from advancing. Hey, at least we got that. And that's game over. Oh, well done. Well, that's interesting. I think we had two very good positions there, and just, you know, when it mattered, we didn't have the goods, and Big Bishop did, which is a familiar story. All right, we're gonna have a short break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. 2-0 down. Can try and come out of this alive. But yeah, we'll see you in 5 minutes. Oh, here we are. We're back. We're back. Well, wasn't that fun? No, it fucking wasn't. It was look, learning experience. I mean, come on, full exchange up. Well, maybe the advantage wasn't that big, but I shouldn't have allowed the rook to just get active. But it did. And you know, it did what active rooks do. And yeah, there was a nice move. I think it was f6. Yeah, maybe I didn't need to give the exchange back, but I did anyway. Anyway, there'll be 2 new games coming up. We're just waiting for the big bishop to collect his thoughts, return to the arena, and you know, put himself up for the 4-0. Can we? Let's see if we can just bring up the position. Quickly, just have a quick look at what went on in that game there. Here we go. So, analysis board. Now then, the position that I'm interested in before this, just very briefly. Yeah, okay, so black's better here still, but no longer here. This is drawish. But round here, after bishop a3, b5, okay, I can consider pushing these guys. Yeah, minority attack. All right, we're back. We're back and let's go. The second half. Fueled. I mean, I feel like you have to win 3 games to beat this guy. You've got to win the opening. You've got to win the middle game, and then you've got to win the ending. You know, he's like Alekhine. Okay, let's go. We know this. We know what we're doing. We know what's going on here. Yeah. The bishop going to come to d6. We're going to trade it. Don't pre-move it, because he'll play bishop e7. He'll be watching. He'll be watching the stream. Stream sniping. He'll see me pre-move bishop d6, and he'll be like, bishop e7. He's having to think. He's having to think. Bishop d6. There he is. Okay. Castles. Castles?
Expect.
Here we go. Rookie 1. Okay. All right. So we're 2-0 down. So we need a bit of a, you know, flourish. It's not impossible to go on a winning streak. It's much more likely that we'll go on a losing streak. a6. All right, 95. Well, the position we had last time was good, so let's see. It's probably been, you know, bucking up. Studying b5. Okay, queen c2. The move was bishop h5, previous game. Why? Because we're threatening bishop h7, knight h7. Knight takes g4. And then did we go f4? I think we thrust up with f4. Or maybe we didn't. Maybe we played knight b3. We played knight b3 to c5 at some point. Bishop h5, but we had f4 in the position as well. Okay. Well, we're back here. Okay, rook c8. Rook fc8 this time. Yeah. Okay, but that's allowed this bishop h7, knight h7, knight takes g4. So, I mean, I think we should just go for it, right? I mean, it's a pawn. I guess at the end of the line, there's knight b4. That's... But it doesn't win anything, does it? I don't think. We could play queen b1 and protect our a2 pawn. Or maybe there's some king move. Well, you don't want to go there, obviously. Yeah, okay, so knight g4. So we just pinched a pawn. But maybe b4 is the idea. knight d4 is the only, of course, so we haven't pinched a pawn. Okay, so queen d3 will hit the knight. We have to move our queen, of course. Of course we can't take this knight, the pawn is pinned. On queen d3, what might happen? This knight may move. Rook c4 is not possible. We might be playing knight b3. Maybe we'll play knight f3. I don't know, but queen d3 looks obvious. I don't think there's any other move. Okay, so how did this work out? I mean, black has got a big center. Completely missed knight d4. Fair enough. Two can play that game. What about this? Does it do anything? Not sure it does. Do we want to play f4, f5? I think we do. f4 prevents e5 for the moment. The knight's not coming to e5, the knight's not going to b4. The rooks are currently not doing anything, so b4 is probably the idea. f4, b4, f5, and just hope. There is a queen c5 check, but I think that's okay. Maybe in combination with b4 that could be a problem. Because they'll own the c-file, but we're banking on these two rooks doing something against the enemy king. Now we proved in the last game that, you know, we can break through. We just need to not allow a swindle in the end game. A couple of swindles, I feel. The first game was a bit of a swindle. Okay, right, let's knuckle down. Too much yapping. So, queen c5, probably not. I guess b4. Why not queen c5? Oh, maybe. Does it help with b4? Don't know. Queen c5, I mean, there's always going to be a knight b3 hitting that queen, and then maybe the knight can drop back into d4. I don't know. It's covered by the c6 knight at the moment. Hang on, that just gives us a lovely spot. And this pawn is weak. I mean, that strikes me as an odd move, honestly. That's odd. Okay, well, I think we should occupy the outpost. Is he... What's going on there? What's that all about? Yeah, I think we should do this, right? And then we should just double up against this pawn. Oh, well, we're going to be able to double up anyway. The problem is that we just go here and there's no knight move because we just take it, they take it, and then we take back. Okay. So there's no knight e4. Okay, so he does that, but then... I say but then, like I've got a plan. Okay, so the knight wants to come in here. That's clear. We could play c4. I think that's a good move. c4 here and then take with the knight. Because the knight is going to drop in, but so what? I mean... Nah, because we're attacking this, right? And that's hanging. So c4 is a good move. Oh, apart from that there's queen c5, so it's not a good move, is it? Great. So we fucked that. Okay. Okay, that was very bad. Okay, so c4, we go knight c4, there's queen c5 check, and we lose a piece. What do we? So that's terrible. Okay. So I guess we've got to play queen e3. Probably not queen e3 because it's knight g4, so we probably play queen e2. And this is now just free, and this is just an utter calamity. c4 was terrible. And, I mean, it's so bad. Just look at this centre. Jesus, it's horrendous. Okay. Grovel? Should we try and grovel? This move just kills us. Or maybe it's not that bad, but still, the threat of this move all the time. This knight's just so good. Protects this guy. I guess... Nah. This is a calamity. Recoverable? Okay, I guess we are attacking e6, right? Okay, so maybe... Okay, maybe we just try this out now. If the knight comes in, fair dues. We'll go there, we'll take this, and I don't know, we'll do something. Queen takes e4. No. I guess the one thing that we've got after knight e4, knight g5, knight takes g5, f takes g5 is queen h4 as a threat. And you can't go and play rook h8 to stop it because the e6 pawn is hanging. So, I mean, as long as e6 is there, we didn't have to play c4, that was ridiculous. But maybe there's still some chance to get something out of this game if we manage to win this pawn. But I'm just worried about this. Just down it comes. Okay. So knight takes g5, fg5, they'll probably play g6. And then we might actually go f5. Sorry, g4. It makes some threat. Yeah. Okay, d4 is not coming out because we take the c4 pawn, so maybe he's actually considering not capturing this, just moving the king. Find that unlikely. I mean, you can't go here, you lose your queen. You could go here. We probably take this and then we try and get our queen in somehow. Like, King g6 looks interesting, but feels wrong somehow. Yeah, I think it is wrong actually, king g6, because we'll take here, and if they take back with the d pawn, we'll win this guy, which I think looks decent. If they take back the other pawn, then we've got moves like, you know, actually queen g4 check and stuff. Probably going to work out for us. So, no king g6, king f6, king g8 played. Okay, well, now there's just queen h4. Well, how are you getting out of that? Yes, you're taking this. Okay, but then you've got to stop. You've got to stop this, no? Queen h4 is a move. What about rook takes? And then queen g4. Doesn't actually threaten a mate, does it? That's probably the problem. But you wouldn't be bringing this or moving, so the threat would be queen h7. King would get to e7. Let's just think about that. So rook takes e4. I'm going to say you probably take this way. Don't know why. Queen h4. The threat is this. I guess king here. Guess it makes a draw. If you try and defend the square with either rook e7 or queen e7, you get mated. Right? Same with rook f8. So you actually, it's actually quite hard to defend. What if you do king f8? If you do king f8, there's queen h8, king e7, queen g7, queen here, and then we fork and win the queen. So you can't do that. I actually think rook e4 might be a good move. Rook e4. We got here. Are there any checks that are gonna throw a spanner in the works? I don't think so. But there's a problem. There's a problem with rook e7. There's a problem with queen e7. There's a problem with king f8. And there's a problem with doing nothing. Namely, alright, so you want to move your queen so you don't get forked, right? We take here, they go here, we go there, and if the queen remains where it is, you know, if white has a null move, it's check, 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 and knight f7. So the king moves somewhere, but I mean, we've still got that line. The question is this any better? Queen h5, knight takes, we go here. Because then the problem is g6. Ooh. And then the e file's open. So then, okay, so what would be the defense after? So we need to analyze those two positions and find the best one. What would be the defense to the threats here? Let's get rid of the arrows. I don't think it would be king f8, so we give a check. Then there is always f7 is always available. Oh no, because then there's g6. The king ends up here. We can give check, takes, king takes. Difficult. I feel like rook takes e4 is probably the strongest. Queen h5, because that makes concrete threats. g6 is not possible. King f8 is not possible. Probably queen c5 is the move, king h8, and then something else. I mean, the king runs. The king is going to run to here. We're going to give a check. It's going to move probably to here. Somehow I feel like this is actually the option. I feel like the king may run. So, for example, rook takes this way. We go queen h4, queen c5 check, king h1. Yeah, maybe you can then move the rook this way. Okay, so we go here, knight takes. We take the pawn, we take the knight back, and then we are threatening at least g6. Oh, I should have made my mind up by now. I feel like you've got to take these things when they're handed to you. So I'm expecting queen c5 or queen b6. Probably the other line was better. That said, actually, there's a problem with these defenses, isn't there? Because Queen f7 is a threat, and we thought about that. Right? It's a threat to draw. Or maybe worse, you know. Maybe worse, actually. Maybe it's worse than that, right? Queen f7 and rook e3 once the king goes to h8. So, you know, the threat of Queen f7 is serious, actually. And this is not going to solve it. It helps because there's no rook e3. And in fact, rook e3 can always be met by pinning the rook, which is pretty fucking annoying. But still, this is a draw, right? So rook e7 doesn't work. Queen e7 doesn't work. We've tried those before. King f8 doesn't work. That hangs the queen because there's a cute line. Queen h8. King e7. Queen g7. King e8. Knight f7. So it's not so easy to defend. I'm just going to shut my door. Chess fans trying to get in. They could hear the pieces moving. I've warned them. They don't listen. Queen d7. Maybe there's an idea. So Queen d7, Queen h7, King f8. a7, we give a check. He goes here. Yeah, maybe Queen d7 is a really good move. Aha, but then maybe just rook e3. Queen a7, King h1, Queen takes e3, draw. That's what it's come to, has it? Calculating to perpetual checks and feeling good about it. Okay, he goes there, which now Queen f7 is a thing. I guess he's going to go this way, right? I think that's the idea. No, I think we've got to go that way. Although maybe we could go King f1 actually. Look, that looks a little bit safer. Gonna go there? Don't think so. That would allow a draw. So I'm guessing he's going to go this way. He's going to try and oh no, that hangs his rook, so you can't do that, right? So this is interesting now. Maybe Queen a7. He plays it. Right. Okay. But now I can go rook e3, right? And get a draw. So maybe I should do that. But let's see what happens in this line. Okay, here. King goes there. I take this. Okay. And then there are two moves. There's King e8, d8, and there's King d6. Now on King d6, it's actually Queen e5. Looks interesting. I feel like I should just take the draw because I feel like I could get into trouble here. Rook e3. Is it really stupid? Queen e3, and then there's a pipette. A pipet. Yeah, rook e3. And it looks pretty disastrous as well. Like you probably can't allow this. I think the king was going to run if we gave checks. Maybe they'll want more. Maybe he'll want more and he'll push, over press. I think that's unlikely. Likely it may be, although it has come to pass. What about queen g6? If there's a mate now. I feel that's a good move, somehow. Threatens this, that's the point. And is. I mean, is that a threat? Guess it is. You don't want the king to run to e7. But I guess it can't now, right? So we've got queen e6. I mean, this looks disastrous now, right? This looks really good for us. There's a queen skewer. Maybe they'll go there. Oh, there's a problem now, right? Rook h8 and queen e6. Okay, we can't allow that because we'll lose. So we have to do something like this. Hang on, this exploits 2 pins. But there's king here. Okay, so that didn't work out, but... Oh, didn't it? I mean, I don't think it did, but... Oh... Guess we want this next. Oh, it's a time scramble. He's doing us in the time scrambles. That looks like an interesting move. Problem with this is there's no check after the move we're going to play. Look at this. Ooh, hang on. Ridiculous. think it's going to be a 3-0. Now we've got this move, which I quite like. Is it really stupid? Fortunately, I think it is. We've not got much else. He just plays king here. Yeah. Well played. Okay. Oh. All right. It's time for the final game. That was a good fight. I think we were better. Or maybe, I don't know. We should have at least drawn. I think when we really needed time to think about the position, we didn't have any left. But he's just too good at defending. All right, final game. Let's see if we can get anything out of this. I think we can. And it's been kind of promising in that we've had good positions in all games. So perhaps there's something positive to take away. H3. I don't think it's a good move. I mean, I'm sure it's a good move, but I don't think it's the one. Okay. F5. We got a really good position last time. Or at least I felt like we did. Oh shit, no, it's King H1 first. King H8. Oh fuck. Queen B3 is probably a big problem now. Bishop G4. We've got to take. Alright, cool. We got away with it. Ooh. Okay, good. We're going back into this position. C6. And what was played? D4 was the move that was played. Maybe he'll go bishop D5 first this time. Let's see. All right, D4. Yeah, D4 makes sense. But a problem with this bishop in the last game. So bishop D6 is what we're going to do next, even if they play. Yeah, okay, so bishop D6. And the rook will go back. Okay, last time we played Queen H4 and F4, there was a knight D2. So what about just playing F4, F3 straight away? Let's go for that instead. Because maybe the queen, wants to be on F6. And if Queen F3 is played immediately, kind of messed that up then, haven't we? When the pawn was still on F5, there was no Queen F3 with the idea of bishop D5, CD, Queen D5, because then there's bishop H2 check, winning the queen. But now we've thrown the pawn. That doesn't work anymore. But that's okay. Maybe we could play bishop D7 with the idea that if we trade here, we get this in. Ah, okay, interesting. Same idea. We can play F3. Not at all worried about this. Well, it doesn't work after F3 anyway. Okay, so what's the worst that can happen if we play F3? I don't see any entry points. Bishop G5 might be played. That's true. Yeah, okay. Bishop G5 might be played. Okay, we could play Queen B6 though. Bishop d5, queen b6. I don't think we've got time for that. I mean, that would be ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. It's kind of interesting is the king can't take the pawn, so they'll take our queen. So if they play bishop g5 and we try this, oh, it's worth having a think. You never know. Boom, bishop went here. Threatening the old checkmate. So knight f6 is natural. Then bishop g5 will probably be played. I guess the point is that if we go g6, they'll just play bishop g6. So are we in trouble? If we go h6, oof, that's disgusting. Okay, I guess we've got queen c7. If they take this, we take back with the pawn. But that looks a bit rough, to say the least. But I can't see any other way of defending this threat. So let's go. Let's see, bishop g5. We take this, they take us. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything there. So I guess we've got to go queen c7. And bishop takes, at least we can take back. And we cover h7. Interesting. Didn't fancy bishop g5. This is still a problem. Okay, what should we do? What should we do? We really want to get this thing off the back rank, right? Rancid situation. That would solve this problem ahead of time. I feel like we should take this. Yeah, okay. Queen c7 next. And at least then we are threatening this, which is going to force this to get captured, and then there might be something going on. In fact, we could even throw it in. King takes. Do we want to throw that in, forcing king takes g2? Actually, yes, maybe we do, because then we take this, we're actually threatening rook g8, but then he could go queen takes h7, queen h7, bishop h7, king h7, queen takes, king takes, sorry. Okay, hang on a second. So we're going to go here. They're going to take that. We're going to take this, and we're threatening rook g8, which is a serious move. Queen takes, we take, bishop takes, king takes. Rook here. Rook here. Kind of looks difficult. I mean, if we go here, we don't allow this defense, right? If we take it first. And then we really do threaten bishop h2. King takes and rook g8, then going to be a check. Oh, fuck, this queen takes and we're getting toast. Oh, no, there isn't. Whew. Okay, so I think this is the move. Okay, I can't see any... Can't see any Gainsworth moves coming up. So, no, this is a big threat now. We've got to deal with that. How do you deal with it? Knight e2 is not going to work. King takes g2. We're going to throw it in the check. You know what? I've got a good feeling about this game. I think it's going to end well. Yeah, it's definitely going to end well now. Bishop h2. King takes. Rook g8 check. Where does the king go? If we go here, he's got that first. Takes, knight takes, yeah. Okay, so give the check. Give another check. Now, if the king goes out here, we can give a check. King ends up here. I mean, there must be more checks, so... Can they do something like this? If we... Maybe this is a move. Maybe that's a move when the king's here. Yeah, maybe this is a move when the king's there. Forcing queen takes, then we can give a check with the rook. The king goes back and we pick this guy up. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna call it. Rook g8. King f1, rook g1, king e2, bishop g4, queen g4, rook a8. Now there are moves in that position like knight e4 and bishop e4. Ah, hang on. He can't play queen takes because the rook is on this file, so it'd be pawn takes. Aha. Okay, yeah, there's still these moves, which is a bit annoying. Okay, so perhaps not that. Okay, but is there any other move other than this one? Don't think so. Well, I didn't see that move. Fair enough. What about this? What about this? And then this. It's too much. Okay. Guess we could go bishop d7. I really want to play this move. Rook takes. But it doesn't work. Okay. Guess they want to go there. Is this working? Queen takes. Don't think it is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. We're a pawn down still. We didn't give up any other material. Could play queen f4 just to try and get, you know, this pawn. It also prevents knight f3. Problem is it just loses to a mate, so can't do that. Alright, but we can do this actually. Now that looks like a decent move. That looks problematic. This doesn't work. King takes here leads to a mate. So what do? You could take here, takes, and take the bishop. He probably will. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, so what about bishop f4? If knight f3, that's a possibility. What about this? No, that hangs the bishop. I mean, we need to get this guy out. Maybe we just play bishop d7. Can't do that. We'll hang a mate. Alright, the only idea I can see is this one. Just to take the sting out of this. I know it allows this, but I don't see such a problem with that. That at least gives us this, so that's fine. Alright. What's going on? This is the move that I wanted to play. In the hope that somehow we might steal this h3 pawn. But we've got a problem with this bishop, and we can't bring it here at the moment because our queen is defending mate. Way too long. Way too long. Oh, I announced I had a good feeling about this game. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, we could go here. Or we could just go here, they'll go there, we'll go here. Mind you, if they go here, they're just gonna do that. Mind you, we could then take this pawn. Here we take this pawn, there's no actual threats. Alright, let's risk it. Ah, and then there's the mate. Alright, well, that was horrendous. But well played. Big Bishop just showed us how it's done. Good games. Well, perhaps not so great at the end. How bad was this position? Okay, so white's just better, which is incredible. Wow, okay, the pawn is just a pawn apparently. Okay, so just completely missed this, which is pretty terrible really. Yeah, queen g7 and then just queen h7. That was the best we could do, looking for something better than that. Yeah, okay. But still, this position looked half decent, but apparently it's not. Okay, f6. Okay, engine is just saying this is not very good, which is fair. Okay, but this position's okay, apparently. g6. What? Oh, fuck. Really? g6, bishop g6, and then what? Then knight f6. I mean, come on. Queen h4 and rook g8. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Got to find those kind of stratagems and didn't. Oh, well played. 4-0. Well, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you've just got to go. Sometimes you've just got to say, well done. Good games. We'll be back next week on Full Board Vision. Probably with the same tea sponsor. I know that's what you're all wondering. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to the Big Bishop for the lesson and for the 4 lessons. And yeah, we'll see you next week on Full Board Vision. Have a good week, and yeah, see you later.